Where butterflies fill the sky, a story of immigration, family, and finding home. By Zahra Marwan. To my parents, who should have never had to leave, who gave us everything they could. From the desert to the sea, this is my home, where 100 butterflies are always in the sky. Pigeons are kept and loved, boats sail the calm sea. Mama is on the shore, my aunties drink their tea. Baba swims in the open water. His sisters take the boat out to sea. Me and my brothers are in our own world. This is where I sleep, where my ancestors live and are always watching me. My aunties hold me close. They try to protect me the only way they know how. People say we don't belong here. We have to leave our home. Baba tells me there is magic in the place we'll go. I don't want to leave. Mama says it will be better for us. I say my goodbyes without knowing why. And travel far, far away. To a new place where each day feels like a year, where no one speaks like me. Are my ancestors still watching? Baba walks in the river, and Mama sits under the cottonwood tree. My brothers are in their own world. We hear a noise and follow it. It's the music of a guitarrón. People dance. They are happy. And when we look up, 100 balloons fill the sky. I'm so different from everyone here. But these new people show me I belong. My family sends reminders that they are thinking of me. And I'll tell them I'm thinking of them too, that I miss them, and hope we can be together again. That in this new place of high desert, I have found a home. The story of my family. I was born in Kuwait in 1989 to a Kuwaiti mother and a stateless father. My father was Kuwaiti in speech, dress, and culture. Just like my mom, he was born in Sharq in 1948 in a neighborhood primarily made of old Iranian families. Kuwait was under British control by mutual agreement between 1899 and 1961. And when it formally became an independent country, its government attempted to register everyone who met the requirements of citizenship. The concept of official citizenship was foreign to many people. Bedouin tribes had freely wandered the land for generations, and people weren't used to this level of government involvement. Some of the requirements for citizenship were unclear. For some families, including my father's, illiteracy, the inability to read and write, meant that the message just didn't reach them. By the time his family learned that they should have registered, it was too late. And since Kuwaiti law says that citizenship is passed down through the father's side, this means my brother and I were born stateless too. Life for my family as a stateless man, life for my father as a stateless man in the 50s and 70s was similar and almost equal to the life of a Kuwaiti citizen. But as Iraqis fled Saddam Hussein's rule in the 1980s and attempted to settle in our country as stateless residents themselves, discriminatory laws began to be established. Before long, stateless people were considered illegal residents. They weren't allowed to attend public school or go to college. They couldn't access health care, they couldn't get married, and they couldn't leave the country because they weren't sure if they would be allowed back. Their only career options were working low-wage jobs or joining the army. There also wasn't a clear path for most stateless residents to become official citizens. My parents saw no future for me and my brothers in the only home they and we had ever known. After my father fought his whole life to be recognized in his country, even losing a brother who served in the Kuwait army during the invasion by Iraq, my parents immigrated to New Mexico with broken hearts, but also the hopes of securing us our basic rights, human rights, and the ability to pursue happy lives. As a young child in New Mexico's public schools, I was taught to be proud of my heritage, maybe because so many of my neighbors had strong indigenous and Hispano roots and had been subject to so much cultural oppression themselves. I lost the ability to live amongst my family, language, and culture because of government rules, but I carry with me a constant sense of home. My heart goes out to the nearly 100,000 stateless people still in Kuwait, some of them my family. About the art. In Kuwait, 100 butterflies are always in the sky. In New Mexico, 100 balloons fill the sky. What is your strongest memory of seeing something in the sky? Zahra Marwan lists and draws all of the common day-to-day things her family did in Kuwait. Make a list or draw pictures of the unique things the people you live with do. How are your people like Zahra's family? Do you sleep in the same place where your ancestors slept? If you move away from where your ancestors were born, do you think you lose connection to your ancestors? Or do you think your ancestors' memories and protection follows you like two bulls follow Zahra? People said that Zahra's family did not belong in Kuwait. Through confusing and cruel practices, the government made her father and his children stateless. Stateless means not belonging to a country nor benefiting from the country's resources or welcome. Have you ever felt or were told you do not belong somewhere? Can you describe or imagine the feeling of not belonging? Can you imagine that feeling being so strong that you are forced to leave your home? When Zahra's family first arrives in New Mexico, each day feels like a year, and the family is all alone. What changes? What can you do to welcome someone new? The phone is a connection between Zahra in New Mexico and her aunties far away in Kuwait. What do you imagine Zahra's emotions are during and after those phone calls? What are your emotions when you speak with a loved one far away? In the second paragraph of the About the Art section, Zahra writes that there are so many peculiarities of both places that I call home that make them feel magical. Look through the book and see if you can find illustrations of the things she lists. Do any of her illustrations remind you of something in your life? Draw that thing from your life. What can you add to the drawing to make it feel magical? There are so many peculiarities of both places that I call home that make them feel magical in real life. Loving and caring for birds, the uniformity of dressing in black, the way family holds a key place in Kuwaiti life and society, and the warmth and generosity of heart. The music and blue sky in New Mexico, the kind hearts of the people, it's magical to see the hot air balloons every day in the fall. Mysticism abounds in both cultures, like the bukur, or Arabic myrrh, that we use for protection in Kuwait. The scent is so beautiful and strong, and we believe it can ward off evil. Where butterflies fill the sky, a story of immigration, family, and finding home.